jab, but I always read it in the worst tone imaginable.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, guys, this is what's online.
He could have been saying it in a way like, hey man, that guy probably knows more about the league than you do though. I was like, why are you taking offense to this video? I was like, is this you? Are you dancing? Is this you? Did I offend you? No. I just stand shining basketball knowledge. And then I went back to his thing, and he only addresses you every time he talks about the show. He never addresses.
We're going right now.
Yeah, but no one has it yet because I haven't sent out the link. But they're gonna see me scrambling.
But later they'll see it.
And then look back, all the people.
So this
All the
is
people
we
online.
are being recorded right now.
But this is no one's live watching this yet because I haven't sent them.
People like history forever will be able to watch this beginning part.
I finished a book yesterday, an Elmore Leonard book called Cat Chaser. It was pretty good.
I've heard of that one.
It was interesting because one of the elements of it, I almost wondered if he had issued a personal challenge to himself, because it's like this guy, and there are multiple points in the book where he kind of like sees all the angles and talks through like, this guy wants me to do this guy's playing me. And then what he decides to do every time is wait and see. Like it's
That's
always
cool.
like they're running a con, and it's
Andy,
like,
no!
You okay? It's like they're running a con, and it's like, what are you gonna do? You gonna tell him that you know, or are you gonna play it against them? And then he'll go, I'm gonna wait and see what they want.
That's fun.
It's like,
did anyone see Andy fall? Sam, did you see Andy fall down? Andy tripped. Can they hear even though that came out? Sam, can you hear me? That's only Sam in there. Oh, now
Josh
there's
Hart
11 more
has
people. Eastman Presser.
in the
Carl,
house.
you were looking for Eastman
Dank.
He made
he's
a
in
mixed
here.
version of. So I was listening to Lil
this
Uzi Vert's
framing
EXO
sucks.
Tour Live.
Okay,
I know
yes.
you're sad and but no, it was
I gotta fix it.
Push Me to the Edge. All my friends are. I was like, this song is in a similar key to another song I really like. It's this, and I started singing along to it with Justin Timberlake's Until the End of Time, and I'm like, I think that's in the same key. And so I was like, let me do a search for Eastman Presser's ass, and see if he can mix these two songs. And he did, and I was right.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. It sounds like it's actually, I'll let you hear it.
Should we just hold?
This is like a fucking chase movie for people watching.
Should we just hold
camera.
the camera like in our hands and just like pan it around to whoever? Here, I'll be the here. Give it to me. Yeah. Andy, wow. You're having so many problems.
Andy, this is like,
It's okay.
Andy's melting
wow,
down.
too close.
Whoa.
Okay, not quite so close. Okay.
Hey, make sure you get my good side.
All right.
Underneath my freaking dong.
Underneath?
Yeah, shooting up from underneath.
This is the Justin Timberlake song? This is the mix.
Mashed up. This is mixed up. Yeah, it does. Somebody tell Girl Talk. He'll mash up anything. He will mash any. If you kids don't know your history, your music history, go look up this character Girl Talk who did music. He was willing to mash basically anything. And he didn't stop with just 2 songs.
And so one thing he would do, so you're like, okay, well, he'd mash like a pop song with another pop song. That's easy. He actually was able to mash pop songs with rap songs.
Well, people are rapping over pop songs. They're popping over rap songs. And Girl Talk is the maestro making it all happen.
Okay, Robbie has asked if he can ask a question. That is a little early for that. Maybe you can ask it now, and maybe we'll answer it a little bit later.
After we finish talking about music history.
Because we actually were talking about something else.
Are you going to hold the camera like that the whole time?
There's a delay.
That's Hayes' plan.
I can put it down, honestly, whenever I want.
And he's almost getting my good side. The freaking underneath part of my dog.
Okay, Robbie, Yes. What is your question? And we might
it
just
will
save
take
it
a
for
while.
a little bit later.
We'll see when we answer it.
My Punch Up the Jam ep was awesome. Yeah, another show that ended right after I appeared on it.
Is it ending?
Yes.
Yeah,
He
Demi is moving
Demi
to.
left.
He also unfollowed everybody.
He's
on
moving?
Twitter.
He unfollowed everyone.
Yeah.
Damn.
Not me.
He unfollowed you too. He unfollowed everybody.
Well, he couldn't have unfollowed me.
No.
He unfollowed you too, sir. I hate to say
I don't
it.
think Twitter
I think
allows
No,
that.
I think it's that he followed everyone except me and Sean.
No?
Yeah, the
I-
unfollow function on Twitter actually doesn't. You can't find us using that,
Well, I texted him right after. I was like, "Bitch, I know you didn't unfollow me."
and he must
And he
not
was
have.
like,
Correct.
"Bitch, I did," and I was like, "I stand a corrected bitch."
Oh no! And you became corrected, and he's moving.
Is he?
He's moving to New Zealand. You gotta not keep showing my body.
New Zealand.
Don't seriously.
He's moving to New Zealand. Andy, link to my body.
Wait, Andy.
What?
Is he really moving to New Zealand?
That's what did. There was a profile about
for like
him.
an internet.
No,
project?
for his girlfriend lives there. Apparently, he's leaving all sorts of projects. I guess he was working on
Wow.
like James Corden.
He was working on
and-
Corden.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just
talked to
wanna
him a
say,
little
I
about
hope
that.
I hope she's real. I hope she's not one of these internet girlfriends.
She's a Manti Teo.
Yes, I just really hope he doesn't fly all
I
the way
hope she's
there.
not Manti Teo.
Yes.
That would be disappointing.
Okay.
But if it's real love,
Robbie, okay. Eastman already asked Sean what flavor LaCroix he's bumping right now.
okay.
Everyone else, what are you
Apricot.
sipping on? I'll just show you the can. And it's a little thing. I guess it would be more appropriate for the end of the show, and that's a little clue for what my drink is. Can they see?
Yeah, kind of.
It says bye.
Bye,
and that's
Bubble.
what,
They should get-
That's
yeah.
what people say
They should get sponsored by the Bye Bye Man.
at the end of the show. Yes.
Like, if he became their spokesperson, the Bye Bye Man, and he's willing to spell his name differently, and then they freaking are basically murdering all the other drink companies.
Future Can says that Carl is channeling Jalen.
What's going on? See, I'm 99% sure the deal is closed. The deal is done. Listen to me. The deal is over. Everybody knows Kawhi Leonard is going to be a Minnesota Timberwolf this upcoming season. Andrew Wiggins, Karl Anthony Towns, everybody that plays for them will be going to the Toronto Raptors for Kawhi Leonard. He's going to play one-man basketball. This reminds me back in Detroit, 1991, Southwestern High School. I played one-man basketball, and I won. I beat Detroit Country Day, who had my brother, Chris Webber, on the team. We do not talk anymore.
Okay, questions. Who has?
Have I ever talked about how I went to high school with
And if you could just hold off on the questions,
the
please.
woman who Jalen is marrying or married?
Married to Molly Queerum.
Molly Karam, yeah. So she was on the girls tennis team, and at Cheshire High School, I was on the boys, and she was a year below me, but we used to do like a mixed doubles tournament every year, and I knew her, and we were friendly.
I did not know
We
that.
hung out at like high school parties together and stuff. And then, of course, didn't keep in touch with it all. And then it was like, wait, she's like a famous sports personality.
Yeah.
I mean, I was mad because she's much more famous than me. And we went to high school together.
Damn.
And I want to be the most famous person from at least my era of my high school.
Who's the most famous person from your high school currently? Like
Currently?
all eras.
Well, you know, James Vanderbeek transferred out really quickly. He went to the private school, but I think he did do like a semester there. Then there's a couple athletes, Brian Leach, big hockey player. I think Brad Osmus, Horshack from Welcome Back Cotter.
Wow.
But then I would say, at least from if you don't count Vanderbeek, then like other than those athletes, probably it would be Molly, I would say.
Yeah. Who you got?
I think mine is right now. There's a couple hockey players, the Hayes brothers. Jimmy Hayes and Kevin Hayes. I think Kevin is better, but I'm pretty sure they're like kind of famous hockey players. Maybe someone who follows hockey knows more about that. There was a girl who's on American Idol when I was in high school named Ayla Brown, who was the daughter of Scott Brown, who won the Senate race in Massachusetts after Ted Kennedy died. But other than that, there's not that many famous people from my high school. Glenn Davis's wife, former, they split up. They have a child, but she was like the best basketball player. She and Ayla Brown were the two best basketball players, probably in my high school's history.
Damn.
And she married Glenn Davis. What about you?
I think it's like there's a swimmer that got a gold medal, and it's a small town. We don't have a lot of
Sounds made
people.
up.
Yeah, it's fake.
A swimmer that got a gold medal for swimming
I think so. Yeah.
in the Olympics.
Mine
sounds right.
I've talked about this.
Hmm?
Athlete-wise, Sidney Wicks. Sidney Wicks played basketball in the 70s. He was, what's his name? He played for the Raiders.
That's the most famous athlete who went to.
Oh, no, Warren Moon.
Yeah.
Warren Moon is the most famous
Wow.
athlete who went to my high school.
Oh, I loved Warren Moon.
Yeah, Warren Moon.
I was crazy about him. The fucking Oilers, dude.
Rod Martin, who played for the Raiders in the 80s. He also went to my high school. But we have a bunch. I went to performing arts school, so we have a bunch of actors and people.
Warren Moon was like really old when he got to the NFL, right? Because he played in
Yeah.
the CFL for so long.
Yeah, because they didn't. Yeah.
Sam G
Yeah.
has Deborah Messing. That's probably right.
Mm.
Scott Rogers asked if everyone had to wear gray at
Probably
Andy's
right.
high school.
Our colors were blue and red.
Okay, next question.
We also got some
The
on.
most famous person from his high school is Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Deadpool's freaking sidekick.
Whoa.
Wow, that's
Says, I think
insane.
Alec, but now it's gone. And he
So-
keeps.
Well,
because
we got questions on the Patreon too.
Okay,
All
but we
right.
So-
haven't answered any questions.
Well, no one's
period
asking
yet.
them because
Well,
there's a delay. What
okay.
NBA player do you think has the weirdest diet? I feel like Kawhi only eats PB&Js. And
Well, that
whoa,
was
and that is
famously
the
a
IMDb
Celtics-
100 that is
The
gracing
IMDb
us.
100 is asking that. Okay, so this.
I
is-
wouldn't
So,
mind
like,
having a better
Shawshank-
relationship with them.
Shawshank Redemption and like Dark Knight and stuff.
Shawshank Redemption, the rewatch ability value is.
We gotta
100%.
do a rewatchables on this.
We do have to do a rewatchable.
We have to do a
You can tell sometimes
rewatchables.
on Ringer feeds when Bill Simmons has just wandered in to the record, and they made room for him, but he was like, no, it's okay, I'll just hang. I'll sit on this stool, and they're all just like a little more like on edge, but
Yeah.
also like really pushing for the stuff that they're all like on their game. Did you send Carl the link?
Oh no, I didn't. 1 second.
Damn, no link.
Holy shit! Where'd you
Yes.
find this?
Damn son.
Damn, son.
Are you ready to go?
Okay, let's go back and
And
let's
we're
find
going
questions.
back, and I will now go on my phone for a second.
My wife says, "Remind me when you'll be home." What should I say? 8:30, 9?
It depends on if we ever get any questions. Might be like 7:35 at this rate.
Well, there's a delay.
How does one achieve happiness? That's a good question. I think for Carl.
Okay, that's for Carl. How does
I-
one achieve happiness?
I achieve happiness by making your favorite food, making your favorite dessert, playing your favorite song or sport, checking out of the world for a little while, getting into the woods, into the wild, eating a poison berry, and dying.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. You know, a philosopher once said, it's not having what you want, it's wanting what you've got. I'm gonna soak up the sun, gonna tell everyone to lighten up.
I want to tell you that.
I'm gonna know Every time
We gotta
so
keep
that's
rehearsing
probably
our
the secret right
acapellas.
there.
I think the way to do it, if you get a cat, they create this parasite in their stool.
Toxoplasmosis.
Thank you. And then you can basically become happy just by having more cats.
Yeah, the cat.
Just the more
just-
shit that
the
you.
cat. What a fucking ingenious system they have that they give you a brain disease that makes you want more cats.
And really, it's the bug who's doing it. Basically, it's not the
Yeah.
cat. So it's a very smart bug.
yeah, well, and isn't it exactly what the cat would want you to think, that it was the bug's idea? Meanwhile, the
You think it
bug
was
lives
their
in the
idea?
cat.
They invented the bug. That's
I
possible.
don't know.
Sean versus Hayes 1-on-1. Who wins?
How do you achieve
Hayes.
Oh,
Andy
it's
looks
this.
good on camera. Andy's
Hey,
lighting
this-
is much better than anybody's.
This
And he
is
also
just
does
a
this
good
thing
angle.
where, like, whenever I move the camera over to Andy, he does a thing where it looks like it's a clip from like a Time of Your Lifestyle, like Green Day video of like people hanging out from high school, and so it'll turn to him and it'll be like,
It's like my SNL intro.
It's like the,
And I'm like eating pizza. Hey.
the vitamin C graduation song
yes.
video.
The secret to happiness is something I call the subtle art of not giving a fuck.
what does Carl drive? Ian Garwood.
A hearse.
A hearse. Piloted by
Big
answered
ass
already.
hearse.
Well, describe your. Oh, God damn it. Describe your hearse.
It's long.
It has dead people
It
in
has
it.
dead people in the back.
It's long and,
And every
it's
time
strong.
you hear me coming up the street, it goes ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And this is Andy playing the guitar on top of my roof.
Like in Mad Max.
Like in Mad Max, yeah. What was the point in that?
The
Him playing
Doof
the
Warrior.
Freaking power the freaking flames from the vehicles.
Is that what they did that?
Mhm.
Dude?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the Doof
It's
Warrior.
intimidation, man.
Who are some other
Sorry.
characters from that?
I was watching Me Vita Loca when Mad Max was out.
Other characters. Well, you got Max. You got Furiosa. You got Immortan Joe.
Mm-hmm. What about Furiosa's like friends and stuff?
What was the name? Knox was the name of the little like white boy. That
Okay.
not like he was painted white.
When I have a bad
Wait, who were you worried about offending?
oh, the guy who was painted white, was that Nicholas Holt?
That's him. Yeah.
I have a bad habit often of meeting my bosses and making a bad impression. So Hayes will remember this possibly, that we had that lunch right before the grinder started and I met Nick Stoller for the first time.
Yeah.
And he was going on and on about Mad Max and how it was like the most amazing movie he'd ever seen, and he just like loved Mad Max, and I went, great car chase. And he took it, and I just was
did
doing it. It was like a
not
dumb
hit.
bit, but he took it as like, what fucking movie do you like, man? Like, and I was like, by all accounts, he's like the nicest guy, and he
Yes.
was very nice later when he came by the room and we got it. But it was just the very first impression that I was like, this guy's sort of my boss. And I was like,
But-
and then he went, he was like, what, man? You're like shitting on this thing that I just said I like. Like I was yucking his yums effectively.
Yes.
And then when he asked what kind of movie I like, I said, I like modern noirs. I mean, I guess to his credit, he went, huh. Like, yeah. Like, oh, you have a specific thing you
Yeah.
like, and so it's okay that you're disliking this thing because it's like not to your taste.
Right.
But that was also, not that I don't like that, but it was all just a bit, and none of it got taken with any grain of salt.
Well, it's better.
Talk about
it's
it,
almost
yeah.
better that he thought you were. I think I said this at the time, that he thought you were making fun of him rather than sincerely saying "great car chase" in response to him saying that he liked Mad Max.
Right.
Because that would be worse if he was like, yeah.
Right. Well, I guess but is it better than him just taking it as a joke?
Right. No, that would be the best.
Yeah, that would have been
That
great.
for sure would be the best.
If he liked it.
Here, Eastman Presser says, here's a question. Carl, if I were to release an EP, would you spit some bars on it? That's what his mom did, was release an EP.
I'd may rap a line or 3.
3 lines. Okay.
And you don't have that question for any of us, Eastman? You don't want this hot fire?
Nick Vark says, "Who's your favorite Sixer?"
Rap man in the building now.
Oh, here he goes.
Rap man, and it's going down. Rap man, and I'm rapping at your head. Rap man, better wrap up that bread. Dude, I literally could do that all night.
Who's your favorite Sixer, past or pro? Well, we can answer that in a second.
Iverson.
Someone asked me, yeah, I guess he's probably mine too. Someone asked me if I enjoyed my time in Vancouver. I did enjoy it a lot. I had a great time there. I hung out in Mount Pleasant a lot.
You go to Vancouver Island at all?
Never got over there.
Yeah.
But everyone said that I should have. And I went to the big park, Stanley Park. I would run around every day. It's a beautiful city. Unfortunately, it's very expensive to live there. Eastman Presser says, "Hayes, you got me." I did. Favorite Sixer? Well, other than Iverson.
Other than Iverson?
Yeah, I think that's too easy.
Eric Snow.
Dr. J.
Oh, yeah.
Passed, and currently Tobias Harris.
My parents went to college with Dr. J.
In Providence?
UMass Amherst.
UMass Amherst.
They were both there
wrong.
together, and as legend has it, he made a pass at my mom.
Damn, and she turned it down?
I think so. I don't know. She didn't tell me that part of it. Maybe the story is that my mom had sex with Dr. J.
Dr. J
That's
is your
possible.
dad?
That would be interesting. It would be like that tennis champion woman.
I used to really like Iguodala when he was there.
Oh, yeah.
I remember they had some pretty good teams. Was Iguodala the star of those teams in 2011 and 12 when they would make the playoffs and be a tough out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the best player.
And
on
he was their offensive force. He was
Right.
scoring 30 points a game. He was
Wait a minute. What
dunking.
years was he on Denver? He might have been in Denver those years. Might be a little bit.
No, he went to Denver after that, I think. I believe he was on the Sixers and they traded him to Denver, and then he went from Denver to Golden State. But I think he was their number one offense option on those Sixers teams. And Drew Holiday, I think, made All-Star one year there with him. Yeah.
Okay, what else?
Ian asked on here, and I saw he asked on Patreon, is there a story behind Hayes' Twitter profile picture?
That's so interesting that you add all this stuff really makes it seem like I only have one friend. I went over to Sean's once, and
The one friend is Sean? Or?
Yes. And Grace had made waffles,
Yeah.
and she made me a waffle.
I'm making waffles. That's what Grace said when you walked in.
It was.
It was. And she made me a waffle with bananas, and she took a picture of me having the waffle.
You looked so happy when you got your waffle put
she
down
said
in
I
front of
look
you.
really happy, and I do look happy in the picture. And Geneva put it up. It's up in our house somewhere.
Oh, wow.
Not on a frame or anything, but in a little.
I got a blown up picture from this house of me walking into my surprise party that was here.
Oh, that's cool. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's nice.
I framed it wrong.
Iggy got robbed in the dunk contest. That's correct. That's the best dunk contest since Vince Carter's.
Iguodunka. On Grantland, they would call it an Iguodunka because his Iguodala's dunks were so strong.
I would say the Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine dunk contest.
Yeah, that's right. I used to say that about Iguodala's, but then the Aaron
Iguodala's
Gordon,
was great.
Zach
He was-
LaVine
he
one
was a
is
high flyer.
probably both of those were better. Okay, what else, Andy? Top 5 favorite pro sports in order. What a bad question.
A couple of people are asking about Summer League, but that's coming up in this most recent
That's coming
episode.
up
Just
tomorrow
recorded it.
morning. We just recorded
I
it.
stink, man. I have BO right now.
You smell?
Yeah. I
Go
can
sniff.
smell it on me.
We'll
Come on, guys. Soak it up.
Top 5 pro sports in order: football, basketball, baseball.
Football's number one for you?
Football's number one
Whoa.
for me. Basketball, baseball, and hockey, I guess, next,
Yeah.
and NASCAR.
Okay.
I'd probably go basketball number 1. Then for me, I'd say football. Then I guess I would go Probably baseball and then tennis. And then I used to love hockey because when I grew up, we went to the Whalers games all the time. I don't follow it as much on TV. I still like going to games, so I guess I would put that next. And, you know, I watch like poker on TV. Is that a sport?
That counts. Yeah. That's probably like 3 for you, right?
I do like watching it. I did just watch the World Series of Poker, and I was into it.
Basketball and baseball are a hard 1 and 2 for me. Then football. Then I guess hockey, but whenever tennis is on, I probably enjoy watching that more than hockey. But I don't know any of the players.
It's like hockey for me, where I don't follow the storylines that much. Like I don't always know what's going. I mean, tennis it's easier because it's been the same guys are the top 3 for like fucking 15 years now.
Yes.
But even the young emerging people, I'm not always aware of. But then when it's like suddenly there's like a good semifinal of a Grand Slam tournament on, I'll watch it. And it's the same with hockey, where I'll be like, oh, it's the playoffs, and I'll catch some of it.
Stanley Cup playoffs or something like that. I won't. And I've gone to Kings games, and they're always been really fun.
Yeah, I don't follow the regular season really, and I don't follow the regular season too much of baseball either. I'll like be aware, but I won't watch a lot of regular season games, and playoffs I'll watch all of them.
Kevin says that it hurt his feelings when I said that his question was bad. Sorry. Okay. Someone favorite hotel and casino in Vegas.
Ooh, that's a good question. I have stayed at the Cosmo a couple times.
Do you like it?
And I like the Cosmo and the Aria. All that city center down there I like. But I think
what I like about the Cosmo, what I would say is my favorite, like the pool is nice. And the casino there is actually really good, but I think my favorite thing is that it's just the right kind of wrong.
Yeah.
Is that your experience?
What you mean by that?
That's its.
The Cosmo is the right kind of wrong.
I didn't know. I'd say my favorite is Caesar's Palace.
Oh yeah.
It like because they got the mall, they got the Forum shops. Nike stores always treated me well in there. And it's just so amazing to look at.
The outlets are so nice. If you just go just outside of the strip and go to the outlet
the
mall.
Premium outlets?
Ooh.
Yeah, I go to the premium outlet.
I've gone there.
Caesars is pretty solid. Like we were down at the pool last time we went.
When I stayed at Caesars, they kept putting me in smoking rooms. And it stank of cigarettes. The whole thing stank of cigarettes. And it sucked.
Here's a question I got for you guys. You just reminded me of something. What's a weird smell that you like? Like something that other people would say, like, why do you like this smell?
Well, I don't know. Okay. Oh, so like a smell that a lot of people dislike that I would like.
Like, for example, mine is tires.
I
like the smell of new tires and gasoline. And I don't mind cigarette.
Okay.
And like because it reminds me.
I don't mind if somebody smoking. I mean, I smoked for a long time, so I'm not like cigarette but sleeping in a room where like the sheets smell like stale cigarette smoke and it's like never coming out. I'm just like, it made me nauseous.
I get you.
I'm over it.
For me, it's like the smell of Vegas. Like you smell the water that has like all that chlorine in, like a theme park water smell, and the cigarettes with the AC during the summer, like the air conditioning sound like circulating this cigarette smell. It's just like smells like Vegas, and I don't mind that.
One of my, just to jump to me, one of mine is theme park water smell. Like I associate it with like the water, like a water feature at like a bank. You know, you go into a bank and there's like a little fountain or something, or like a mall fountain has kind of that smell. Or Pirates of the Caribbean is like where it is the strongest. It's almost like overwhelming in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Well, I get this is such a cliche one, but I really don't mind the smell of skunk that much.
I don't think that is very cliche.
Because where I grew up, there was a lot of this stuff called skunk cabbage.
Okay.
You know, like I was by like all the like riverbanks and stuff. No, it wasn't weed, although that is very funny. You fucking Chiba hawk. But there was like,
cabbage,
and you would
come
step on it
man.
and it would have this kind of skunky smell, and then we would just go and like kick over all the skunk cabbage,
Yeah.
and they would kind of smell like a skunk get sprayed. Obviously, I don't want to
pressers-
get sprayed by one, but
Sure.
knowing one just like sprayed somewhere near you, I think the smell is sort of like weirdly bad but good.
Mm-hmm.
Eastman
Eastman Presser says Pete.
Well, and he also said banks that have fountains. Jesus Christ, this man is breaded, which is very funny. I'm gonna steal Maggie Straz's answer. I like vinegar also.
Oh yeah,
That's
It's
I
a
kind
nice-
of do too.
That's a tough one.
I got something though. I didn't get to talk about my Vegas locations at all. I like the poker room at the Bellagio so much that I found that anytime I did want to play poker, I'd be going there. So I ended up just staying there the past couple times. I don't love the hotel. It feels like it's sort of for old people, which I don't mind, but it also feels like it's gone to seed a little bit. I have stayed at the Venetian and the Palazzo a bunch of times. I've stayed at the Delano a few times. Stayed at the Aria a few times. Delano's connected to Mandalay Bay. That's probably the best trips I've had. I've stayed there. Although the Mandalay Bay Casino is not like outstandingly good. It's sort of middle of the road.
When I've gone, most of my Vegas memories are going to Summer League and trying to get a really, really good deal on a hotel room. And I've stayed at, there was one trip where
From the Hard Rock, you can walk to Summer League.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's actually, yeah. I mean, you wouldn't want to because it's so hot, but you
Yeah.
can.
There was one trip where I would switch between like Bally's and Bill's Gambling Hall.
Bally's
like,
is where
every
I
night.
stayed when I was
Gambling Hall.
when I was going
Mhm.
when I was didn't have money.
And it was like on a weekday, and if you just go in last second,
Now I'm
I think I
rich.
stayed. I think I stayed at both of those places for like $40 a night
Yeah.
or something.
I remember staying there. I think for my 30th birthday,
Mm-hmm.
I stayed at Bally's, and I think it was like $30 a night or something.
And Bill's Gambling Hall was when I was where I saw Kenneth Farid play craps.
That I love
played
that
craps at Bill's
casino.
Gambling Hall. $5 buy-in.
Mhm.
I won $150 the first time I played craps.
You could do
ever.
$5 blackjack hands there. I
Yeah.
mean, they had
It's
really
gone
low
now.
limits,
Yeah.
which is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh wow, yeah. I played a lot there when I stayed at Bally's. I went to Vegas for my 30th, and we stayed at Bally's, and then I went to Bill's Gambling Hall every day and played for and the poker buy-ins were super cheap too.
Let me ask y'all this. Every time y'all have gone to Vegas, I feel like when I was a kid and we would go to Vegas, we would walk up and down the strip like it was nothing, like from Stratosphere to fucking Excalibur, like all the way up and down. But now when I'm out there, I'm like, why does it seem like it's spread out, like it's bigger? Usually
it's
things
cool.
get smaller when you get older. I don't know if they changed the way the streets like. I know-
It seems like it's more. There's no direct route to get where you want to at all. Like
Yeah.
anytime you want to, you like look out from your like window and you go, "Oh, that casino's right there." It looks like it's like fucking a 5-minute walk,
Yeah.
and then it takes you 40 minutes to walk to it
exactly
because you got to go like over a bridge and under a thing and around different like
through
guardrails.
casinos
Yeah,
and stuff. Yeah, through malls. They've definitely changed it up to where you gotta look at stuff to buy now.
yeah. It's like total. Yeah, they made it very circuitous routes.
Eastman asks,
How
if
many
I
people
know
are?
what
Is there only
Pete
2 people in
is.
there?
No, he just keeps talking. Yes, it's what you in Scotland. That's what you eat for food. Okay. Someone reminded me that I have that ecstasy story from Vegas that I told on Doughboys.
That's right.
Where Sean and I went to Vegas for a friend's bachelor party, and the new I forget if I told the details, but we went to a club, and you and I, either you and I or me and Dom, wore ties
Mm.
to like a club in Vegas.
Nice.
I was like 24 probably or something at the time. And I looked like I looked like I was like a real estate agent or something. And someone gave me ecstasy, and I stood in the cab line at a hotel for like an hour just trying to talk to everyone who like came through the line, just trying to like connect with everybody. And I'd been screaming all night, so my voice was really shot. And so everyone who came up was like, "Hey, what's going on? Where are you from?" And wherever they said, I remember someone talked about Detroit, and I talked about like Tony Clark or someone who had like played for the Tiger, just like made some weird connection to wherever they were from. And security kept trying to move me along, and I kept going back. It was really bad. Okay, who's your favorite
Great.
doughboy? Says Bryce Shepard. Wow, and we have to answer.
They all
and
have
Yusong and
their own
Emma count.
strengths.
Emma, I have no contact with ever. I don't know who that is.
I guess I'm a
who
Yusong
that
stan.
Yeah.
We're all just trying to get on that podcast, right? That
Yeah, who books it? I guess probably Weiger.
Maybe
I should
it's
lean
Emma.
towards him.
Oh, I meant Yusong and Kevin's podcast.
Oh, yeah,
right.
maybe don't.
Maybe don't.
I went to Nashville with them in Huntsville, Alabama, and Yusong eating Waffle House with Yusong was an amazing experience
Yeah.
because he didn't know what anything was. Like,
Didn't know what any of it was.
Yeah,
Didn't know
like
what
just-
the waffle was.
I was just like, Yusong, this is normal. Like, this is food. Oh my God, Carl, what is that? It's cheese on my eggs, Yusong.
Wow. I guess my favorite is Mitch.
I mean, they're both so unforgivably strange. Yeah. I'm gonna go none of the above. None of them are my favorite. They all have things I like, but
Here's what the reason it's good to say Mitch is Mitch will love it, and Weiger will be just as unaffected as he is by anything else that has ever happened in his life.
yeah, Weiger would never be excited to be picked.
No, there's
But
zero
Mitch would be
upside.
furious if you picked Weiger.
The last
And
day
he
we
would
ran-
maybe like add you to his list.
Someone's hoping for the full Larry David Sean story.
Oh wow. I could tell it.
Yeah.
Have I not?
No,
I think I think you just said you were gonna, and then it's never come out. We're gonna burn it on the stream. No, just kidding. Love you guys.
What how many people are in the stream, Andy?
76.
76.
that's kind of a lot.
76 people get this story.
Well,
Hopefully this
plus
one has
anyone-
more
and they can watch it on.
rewatchable.
Yeah, they can watch it on demand.
Anyone
This should
is
be on the
allowed to-
rewatchables.
Anyone is allowed to watch this?
No, this is anyone that's in the $25 or $10 tier.
I'll
Later.
tell the
watch
Larry
it later,
David
yes,
story. How long do you guys want me to make it?
As long as you want.
So I'll tell the story from auditioning. So I got a call to audition for Curb. I had heard a little bit about what the process was, but basically you go down to this office in Santa Monica and they hand you a little like piece of paper, like a fortune cookie fortune, that says what your scenario is. So mine said, Larry bribes you, like he gives you $20 to hold his seat at a funeral. Then someone takes his seat and he tries to get the money back from you. Don't give it to him. So then I'm sitting and every improviser and comedian I've ever seen walks through in front of me and it's like, and Larry David shows up a half hour late. Everyone's waiting for him and he just is like, hey guys, sorry. And then he walks in and it's like, okay, so we're reading with Larry David in there. There's like 5 people watching you.
Can you just say who you thought was going to get it?
Gemberling, I guess.
Okay.
Gemberling
Yeah.
was there, and I heard him go before me, and
I'm surprised he hasn't done it. Hadn't done it
he's
before that.
I know, and he's so funny, and he's specifically a really funny yeller. And so they got in this argument. Obviously, Curb is like always somebody getting an argument with Larry, and I hear him yelling in there, and I was like, I'm not gonna go in there and do this after he just did it. So I'm kind of strategizing, like, what do I do? So I decide that like I'm not gonna get into a yelling match with Larry, that I'm just gonna pretend no matter what he does, I'm gonna be like, I'm on your side. So he came over and he's like, what the hell? You said you were gonna save the seat. And I was like, I know, I can't believe that guy took it, right? What an asshole. And he's like, yeah, he's an asshole. You're an asshole. You took the seat. I go, dude, and I told him it was reserved. So I'm like, what is his problem? And I just like, I keep doing
That's
it to him.
good.
And he's like, but you're supposed to hold the seat. I go, that's why I'm pissed off. Because I'm like, you're making me look bad when you take the seat. And after like 3 rounds of this, Larry kind of like sputters, and then he like shrugs and he turns to the director and like casting director. He goes, I mean, I got nothing. Like, and I essentially
that was
won
bad.
the argument.
Yeah. But at the time, you probably thought.
I was like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah.
you just think this is a dead end.
Right.
But I think like because I'd done something so different from everyone else, they were like, yeah, let's use this guy. So then I
rules.
go in, I have to film it. It's a scene now I realize when I get there with everyone. Ted Danson is there and Bryan Cranston is there and like everyone. So, they shoot the wide, which is like the first thing of the day. It's like 9 a.m. or something. And when they finally get set up, and we do a really abbreviated version of what our scene's going to be, because it's just like they want to have like coverage for the cameras. And then they shoot out every single other cast member of the show. So I sit in a director's chair, like next to the garbage can from like 9:15 when we finish shooting the wide until like 5:45 p.m.
Well, then everyone has to come to you to throw their trash away.
That's right. And I did. That is how I had my interaction with Ted
That's
Danson, where he peeled an orange in front of me, and I said, "Hey, we met once before. I was at your house. Your stepson, Charlie McDowell, had written the script, and I did the table read." And he was like, "Oh yeah, that's great, yeah." And then he like finished peeling the orange. He went, "Hey, you want half of this?" I was like, I'd take a slice. And he goes, "Take
That's
half
huge.
of it. This is all I need." And then he like threw the thing out. And then when he got shot out first, he came and found me before he left to be like, "Hey, I'll tell Charlie you said hi." So anyway, that then was nice. But then a lot of it was like me like listening to like Jeff Garlin explain his Netflix movie to people very loudly and other stuff that I was just kind of like, yeah, no. And nobody gave a fuck, which they shouldn't about him or me. And then finally, they're shooting this Richard Lewis thing that goes pretty long, and they bring me in, and they are,
Wait, just 1 second. Chris Dickinson asks, "What does shooting the Y mean?" Oh, sweetie.
Oh, honey, don't ask
honey.
that. The wide,
Honey.
WIDE. That's so when the footage they use often is the camera's in very up close, and that's a totally different
Like
take
what
than
you're
when they
looking at now.
get the big wide shot where they get all of the action so that they can cut between it. So I go in to do it, and Larry's obviously kind of burnt out. Also, he was very funny all day. Like, he was being Larry David the whole time. Like, he walked in, and he's about to shoot, like, the first part of the scene with me, and he's just like, he's like, "A lozenge. Is a lozenge litter? If I throw this lozenge in the bush, am I littering? It dissolves, right? So it can't be litter." And somebody's like, "I think it's littering, Larry." He's like, "Is it? How is it littering? It won't be here after it rains." And he's like doing this all, and I was like, whoa, he's always doing it. So then we go to shoot like our big scene, and they're openly talking as they do about like, we really only have 2 cracks at this thing because there's no more sunlight and we're going to be done. This went too long. And so I'm going like, okay, I have to nail it on like the first one. I have to nail it. We go in and we start talking, and I'm doing the exact same thing that I did in the audition, and he hates it. So like he comes over, and like he obviously, it's been a month, he can't remember like what happened, but he's just like, he goes and he's like, "Hey, give me a $20 pass, give me $20." And I was like, and I'm going like, "What a jerk, I can't believe he took the seat." And it's Richard Lewis, and I'm pointing at him, and then he goes like, "Just give me $20." And I go, "Is this even really what you want to do? I mean, it's $20. You're never going to even think about it again." And he goes like, "Don't do that." I was like, "What?" He just stops and he goes, "Don't do like, you're rich, you're Larry David, you have so much money, you don't have to care about $20. And I was like, "No, I wasn't even thinking of like you as Larry David. I was just thinking like this was a move. Like, okay, sorry. So then they come over to me, the director comes over and he goes like, "Hey man, whenever he tries to get you to move Richard Lewis," and he goes like, "Go move him," you go, "I'm an usher, I'm not a bouncer." And I go, "Okay, cool." And then we all like, they move the lights and they set something else up, and then they give me another direction. I can't remember the exact specific, but they gave me a second direction of something to say that was like super specific. And as we're doing the scene, Larry says like, "Get him out of that seat." And I say the second thing that the director told me when Larry wasn't there. And Larry stops the take again and goes like, "You're supposed to say, 'I'm an usher, I'm not a bouncer.'"
This pisses me off.
I was like,
This part pisses me off.
I was like, "Fuck, man." And I go, "Okay, yeah, you're right." But they had like told me something, but it was just one of the things where like he was there when they said Usher Bounds. He wasn't there for the other part. So then they go, "Okay, we're going to take one more crack at it." And I'm just like, fuck. And I'm totally shook. And I just decided like, well, I've been so committed to doing what I did in the audition. I'm just gonna do something totally different. And because I only have one more take on it anyway, and he hates me, so like, what could I lose? So he comes in and he's like, he's in my seat. He goes, give me $20 back, and I go, I don't have it. I lost it. He goes, and he cracks a smile and he goes, what? You lost it? And I go, okay, I didn't lose it, but I'd have to go to my car. I put it in my car for safekeeping. And he's like, what are you talking about? I goes, I thought it would fall out of my pocket and I didn't want that to happen. So I went to my car on my break. And he goes, that doesn't make any sense. You thought it would come out of your pocket. And he's like, it only falls out of your pocket if you sit down, but you're standing all day. You didn't sit down. It would be when you sit down and you go to stand up. And I go, no, it's friction. It's friction from walking. It slowly works it out of your pocket. And he's like, he's laughing now, like he's breaking, and he keeps backing up, going, get it again. And then he starts trying to grab my pants and go, no, don't do that, don't touch me. and then he's like, move him out of the seat right now. And I don't say I'm an usher, I'm not a bouncer. I go, I got a bad shoulder. I messed up my shoulder. I can't. And he's fucking losing it. And like, he keeps rewinding it. We do like a 10-minute take of this scene. Like, we'd like roll out the fucking film, and then he's like laughing. We stop. Richard Lewis stands up from his seat, who just has to be there because he's like sort of in the shot. Stands up, just walks over as soon as they call cut, and like gives me a two-handed handshake. And he's like,
shit.
That was so funny, man.
What
he's
a
like,
triumph.
He's looking at Larry. He's like, this guy's so fucking funny. Larry's like, that was good. That was really good. And then I was just like, holy shit. And the director's like, hey, man, that was great. I knew he had fought for me. And I was like, oh, wow, this feels great. So then I watched the episode. They use none of it. I think they use I'm an usher, I'm not a bouncer. That's all they use from the one middle take. But I was like, I broke Larry David. I made him laugh. And I walked out going, after take 2, I've been thinking, this will cut together into something. They'll still use it. It'll be fine. It'll be the same as if I nailed it. Like, it'll look the same. The show, they're pros. But I left after this one going like, I don't care what they use because I made him laugh. And then they used the whole setup scene that we shot the day before. It took 2 seconds. So anyway, that was it.
When people who aren't the head guy give you a direction and don't tell the head guy, and then the head guy thinks you like took liberties.
I'd have to remember what it was too. It was just it was like 2 different options of thing, but it's like I maybe used it in the wrong spot, but I was like keeping in my head like, they want me to say this, they want me to say that, they want me to say this, and then.
But he didn't
Was
have
Marty
your back.
Funkhauser in the scene?
Marty Funkhauser was there. He had been shot out as well.
What did he say?
Larry, could have fallen out of the pocket, Larry. It's possible. It's happened to me.
Was it V. Stiviano playing Marty Funkhauser's wife? Wasn't that like part of the scene?
Marty, honey. Marty.
B, you're the love of my life.
I love you too, Marty, but please don't defend the usher. Larry's mad,
He has
honey.
a point. He has a point. It could be real.
Larry's mad, honey. I was on Jimmy Kimmel one time, and it was the Halloween episode, and my costume was Bill Cosby.
Ah.
So I was in a Cosby sweater, and I had a big pill-shaped.
Were you like a roofie? Was it like a reference to
like
his
a Quaalude.
Okay, yeah.
And I couldn't see out of this fucking thing.
Yeah.
And what you're supposed to do is Jimmy Kimmel will announce who you are, and you come out and just stand there for a little bit, and then you leave, right? So before Jimmy gets to set, just the AD is doing it. He's announcing all the costumes, and I walk out and I like do like the Bill Cosby dance, like like and the AD's like, that's great, man, that's great. You got to show Jimmy that. You got to do that for Jimmy. Like, it's so funny. Everybody, all the crew, everybody laughed at it, and he was like, you got to do that when Jimmy and so Jimmy comes out. And he goes, okay, so when you guys come out, I just need you to come out, stand there for a second, turn around, and get out of there, okay? And then this guy's like, no, you got to do that dance. You got to do that dance. You got to do the Bill Cosby dance. And so he calls out, and Jimmy goes, Bill Cosby. And I walk out, and I do the dance, and I stand there a little bit. And Jimmy Kimmel goes, I said when you come out, you stand for 2 seconds, and you walk back. I did not ask for – and I was like, and I'm like, this is fucked up, man. And that dude didn't say shit. He did not defend me at all. So I'm so happy I had on that big-ass mask because now Jimmy, like, Like I was like, he's gonna remember me. I'm never gonna work again. But
Right.
I've worked on the show many times. But it's like, I was lucky. I got fucking lucky because I hate when people give you direction and it's like you don't have the authority to do that.
It was, and it, the thing is too, when I've told this story though, like people go like, God, Larry David's such an asshole. But honestly, it's like they have such a limited amount of time. They're improvising to get like 5 specific things that they know are going to be in the cut. He's been doing the show for fucking 15 years. So he knows exactly what he wants. So I really think he's like editing in his head. He's like, no. I need you to do I'm an usher, not a bouncer. Like, cause I know we're using that. And like, so I was like, and with the director, I was like, oh, this is just like a secondary option that you need. Like, I knew the way it worked. Like, nobody was like intentionally being hard on me. I just had it so built up as like, wow, this is like one of my like comedy heroes, and the show's so funny, and I get to improvise, and then I'm blowing it. Was my feeling, you know.
Someone, Frank just posted in the chat. I enjoyed Lizard People for what it's worth, and I saw Andy from this angle. He's reading the computer, and it comes into the chat. He's looking down and
Gotta respect.
It was
Well, no,
good.
because they wanted you to, because our episode meant that you guys didn't get a chance to talk about Kawhi and Paul George. So
Oh,
they
yeah.
want you guys. They want to see you guys like pump your fist and clap and be all excited.
They saw our text. They saw our
Oh, yeah, that's
live
right.
reaction.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is what I deal with.
Well,
everyone on their
Grace
phone.
just texted me I should eat, right? And I think when I knew we were going from 5:30 to like 8:30, I thought maybe we would be ordering some food or something. But now I'm realizing.
What is she thinking about eating?
She said I should eat. Like she's saying that to me. I'm
Well, she
going,
could
yes, you
start
should eat, but
Making,
I haven't eaten, just so you know.
Right.
If you want to wait.
I think she could start getting dinner together at this point. Right? Oh, hey,
Well,
Alec asked,
this was 10 minutes
what's
ago.
your uncensored opinion on the new Mountain Goats?
Uncensored.
I listened through it a couple times. I'm sure if I like committed to like going like I'm gonna learn, get familiar with some of these songs, there'd be stuff I liked. I didn't like hate it or anything, but it didn't grab me right away. There weren't a lot of the first couple songs that came out. I wasn't like yes, like it didn't give me that good feeling that the stuff of theirs that I really love gives me. So with a lot of the more recent ones, I feel like when I initially heard them, I went like, this isn't going to be one of my favorite albums. And then like when we would go to see them live or I'd listen a few more times, I go, oh no, there's some stuff I really like on here. But it didn't give me like the super juice that like the really good albums that I totally connect to give me.
Ed K asks, at what point does Carl get the call up to Team USA?
I already turned it down.
You did?
I turned it down.
Why?
Because I'm not trying to travel.
You don't want to travel to Tokyo? That's far.
It's too far, man.
The plane, is it the plane ride or just like hotels and
The
stuff?
plane ride, getting to the hotels and not being able to read anything.
Yeah.
It's a foreign country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just, the food.
Would you do it if it was in like Pompano Beach or something?
Oh, if it was in Pompano Beach, I'm there, boy. I'm motherfucking in there, dog.
Yeah. I think if it was in Pompano Beach, we'd probably all play for it. But when they take it to like these weirdo like Tokyo places, it's like,
I'm like,
okay, I'm not really.
is this a bidet or a toilet?
Yeah, is this toilet or a bidet?
Someone asked our favorite basketball books. I love, this is so corny for like a white guy who's my age, but I really loved that Free Darko basketball book when it came out. I have like framed illustrations from it that I don't know where they went. That was so good. I read Foul about Connie Hawkins. That one I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
About like his like whole life and how he just got fucked over by agents over and over again. That one is great. You guys have one?
Yeah. I just finished Iggy's book, The Sixth Man.
Okay.
I enjoyed that.
What's one detail from it?
He really thinks that the refs and other teams are out to get the Warriors. it's just pointing at Sean's crotch, I guess.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh.
Thanks, Andy.
Show that meat. Yeah, Iggy's book. He there was like a whole chapter about how they were just like, oh, here's how we play you guys. We just foul Steph, and I'm like, I feel like one person has told you this, Iggy. I don't believe this. Like watching these games, like I do not see a disparity in calls in the other team's favor against the
If
Warriors.
anything, it goes the other way.
Yeah. And so he said that, and then, but I enjoyed the rest of the book, and just he's a very smart guy. Men Amongst Boys, the story of high school athletes going straight to the pros, very interesting. LeBron Inc. And also Return of the King, both LeBron books are really great.
Yeah.
Read both of those. The Curse, the story of the Los Angeles Clippers, is very interesting by this Australian dude named Mick Minnis. And that one's really interesting, like just hearing about how this team just could never overcome anything. Like every time they got something good, it always crumbled. And then Jalen Rose's book, Got to Give the People What They Want. That's another one that I really liked. Yeah.
Chris Ballard wrote a book called The Art of the Beautiful Game that is just like a bunch of great stories too that I really liked. Got a lot of good Team USA, like Dream Team stories. Or did he also write a separate book about the Dream Team?
The Dream Team is like a Jack McCollum book. I had that one, right?
Maybe
it's like the
that's what I'm
guy
thinking
who
of.
did 7 Seconds or Less, then did
that's
the
right.
Dream Team.
That's right. That's a separate book. I like both of those.
11 Rings. Breaks to the game. Loose balls. 11 Rings. I'm trying to think of the other Phil Jackson one that I've seen. Zen and the Art of Winning. I feel like I did read a bunch of Bill Simmons basketball books.
Someone asked
and
about
I
No
gave
Love
up
for
on
the Book
it.
of Basketball.
I
I
did.
did actually really like that
Which
book.
one was that?
I did read a lot of it, and it's huge, and I was like, but I did. His style and his voice is so specific that like while I was reading it, I was like, I love this, and then as I went through it, I went like, I need to take a break from this.
Wait, is that the one with the really great pictures in it?
The Big Book of Basketball.
Yeah.
I don't think there are a lot of great pictures in
I
it.
don't think
No,
there are
it's
really any
there's
pictures.
charts of like the pyramid of greatness and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
I remember
thinking-
enjoying that at the time.
I had to read I did a project. So in middle school, in 8th grade, my English teacher, Mr. Provisor, created this thing called the iSearch that he created.
His first name was M, right?
M. Yeah, his first name was M. M. Provisor, and he created this project called the iSearch where it was a year-long project. It was like you had this. It started in September and it was due in May, like right before school was out. It was like a large percentage of your grade. And I chose to do mine on basketball. Like you just get to pick one topic, and I chose to do mine on basketball. And of course, I waited to the last fucking minute to do it, and scored really poorly on it. And but I got to interview Mark Madsen, who was playing with the he was playing on the Lakers at the time, and he was a member of my friend Woody's Mormon temple.
Really?
Yeah. And so like
the one on Santa Monica?
On Santa Monica, yeah, the big one.
Oh my god!
My friend Woody went there, and Mark Madsen was a member there. His name was I ain't gonna say his whole name.
Okay,
like, I'll tell you off air. But his name was Woody.
They might have just kind of look at your texts.
Yeah, well, trying to have dinner with my wife.
Yeah, that I had to read the big book of basketball for that, and of course I didn't read it. I did a bad job.
Right.
I winged everything.
Mark Madsen, they used to make fun of how he danced at that
at the
parade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that before or after that?
That was during. That was before.
During.
Because that was 2002. So I was in 8th grade, 2002, 2003.
Who's the most fun Earwolf person to record with? Daniel asks. Earwolf support staff person to record with. The most fun.
Most fun to record with.
I don't know those. I don't know their names.
Support
What?
staff.
Matt Apodaca.
I can see he never does
Cody
our
Ziegler
records.
is a
He's
friend
pretty
of mine,
fun.
so he.
Yeah,
Zig never does our records.
Yeah.
Zig never does.
I think he's doing our next one.
I mean, I'm a Brett stan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brett's cool.
I feel like I never see him anymore.
Yeah, he
like
doesn't
just
do
never
ours.
does the weekends. He somehow rigged the schedule so he doesn't deal with us.
Yeah.
So now when he is there, I'm always like, "Hey, it's Brett!" Like it feels like an
Yeah.
old friend.
There are two dudes who work there who look exactly alike, and I can't.
Yeah. Okay.
Those guys.
Who do you think they are?
Is one of them
Matt
Graham,
Apodaca and who else?
Matt Apodaca and his twin brother.
Mm.
Fun fact about Matt
Sam
Apodaca,
and-
he is a twin.
Brett.
Wow.
Oh,
He has a
that's
twin brother.
freaking getting me juiced up thinking about that.
Yeah.
I'm seeing double here. 4 Matt Apodacas. The Simpsons.
Are the
Simpsons.
Jazz going to get any Flagrant Ones love next season? I'm really excited about the Jazz.
Yeah, I think
That'd
they'll
be a good
cool.
team to, like, if you had to, like, draw a new favorite team right now, that would be a good one.
It's gonna be a no from me, dog.
Okay, great.
I do
That's
think
good
they've become
references.
this weird kind of trendy, like, pick.
I maybe got overvalued a little bit. Like
Yeah.
that was why I bet on the Blazers. I made a bet in Vegas on the Blazers to win the NBA championship, which I think is unlikely, but their odds seem so skewed where the Jazz was sort of my example of like the Jazz are 15-1, but the Blazers are 30-1.
Yeah.
And I was like, you think the Jazz are twice as likely? I don't. I think they're probably about even. Maybe it should have been
Yeah, no, I agree. That's
15-1 and
crazy.
16-1 or something. But like it was a surprise to me, so I made that bet because I thought it was a good value.
Ed says, did you know in Star Wars the cantina
Yes.
music is called jizz? Is that
Of
true?
course.
It's
Yeah.
like an alien jazz.
The band are called like Jizz Whalers or something like that.
The Jizz
yeah,
Whalers.
and it's like space jazz, I guess.
Are you, now, Andy? Are you a Salacious Crumb stan?
Yeah, man, he's fun as hell. The laugh and all that.
Yeah, so cool.
He's
Yeah,
like Jabba's
Star
friend.
Wars.
Are we going to get a teaser
hope we
freezer
never
breakdown
stop.
of the Cats trailer? Well, there's no speaking in it, I believe, at all.
There's pretty much no. There is speaking in it. I mean, they're singing.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
Are we ready? Like I think James Corden says something
that's
like,
right.
"Are we ready?" Hoo! And then he like pushes his tummy into someone, knock them around.
Are we going to have Paul Sheeran to talk Clippers?
We
Carl's been
wanted
saying
to.
No, we wanted to.
Carl
but
doesn't
Carl
want him
said
here.
That's a no. Carl said that's a no for
He
me.
said that's a
dog.
no
It's
for
gonna be
me,
a no
dog.
for me, dog. Even though I told him on
Unfortunately.
Twitter that he could, I was bullshitting.
That's one thing Carl will do is
He
he'll
thought
often
Carl was
tweet at somebody and
serious.
go like, "Hey, yeah, I would love, let's get together," and then he'll privately contact them and be like, "Dude, if you fucking thought that was serious for 1 second, I will beat your
Your
ass."
fucking ass.
He says, he's just say optics.
And this is for optics, dog. This is for these fucking Twitter ass fucks. Paul Shear, don't you ever for a second think you can come on this fucking show.
Yeah, he'll say, "Tell everybody you had a good time." So it's like he wants Paul to pretend he's done the show and it was fun, and I don't know why. Like, I don't think it helps us in any way, but Carl knows more about the politics of this stuff than I do.
Teaser freezer for that animated Fox movie, Fantastic Mr. Fox. I thought that was pretty good.
What is a
Yeah,
teaser
pretty
for you?
good.
Is this a merge?
That's a
Avatar.
Hollywood Handbook thing. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry you have to deal with it.
I can't fucking believe this.
What's the
Sorry.
first non-Canadian foreign city the NBA should explore expanding to?
Mexico City?
I think that's right.
San Juan.
That is not forward.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably the only right answer.
Mexico City.
Yeah. But it's so.
What about Tulum?
Tulum
beautiful,
is
the
so
caves.
Nice, the caves.
Tulum. Everybody's just gonna be
swim in the
relaxing the
cave.
whole game.
Well, you have to. We have to have the Tulum cave guys.
What if they just have a platform court in the wade pool at the Tulum at where did remember when Craig Robinson came into the office that one day and he was like, just got back from Tulum. It was beautiful. I stayed at what did he say he stayed at? Fuck, I can't remember.
Dreams.
Yeah, Dreams in Tulum. They just have a platform at the Sandals and people can come out by the pool and watch the basketball game. Ah! One of your fig leaves fell.
I like. Oh, that's
Sean's
a
BO.
bad omen. Probably, yeah. I stank the tree to death. Got a bonsai tree recently. So,
Very cool.
well, did you guys know that there's a Japanese garden in Los Angeles, up in
the
Van
Hunting-
Nuys?
There's
There's
one in
one at the Huntington.
there's
There's a
one in
nice
Long
one in
Beach,
Van
too.
Nuys
They're
that
all
was
over the
beautiful,
place.
and they had a bonsai tree
Wow.
demonstration, and I went.
Sparky Arbuckle says Kingston. Basketball team in Kingston.
Kingston,
I wouldn't be
Kingston town,
Kingston Town.
Reykjavik,
Yes.
the Reykjavik cave guys. When I have gone into a cave, like when I was in Tulum and I went through a cave, I was like, holy fucking shit, this is awesome. And you're like, I'm in another world. It rules. I went to the glowworm caves in New Zealand.
Whoa.
Fucking awesome. The whole ceiling's glowing from all these worms and their weird spit that like
That is cool.
What, Carl? What's your ideal date? That's the last question.
My ideal date?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I don't know.
All right. Thank you guys so
Is
much.
that it?
Someone says the team could be called the Kingston Stand Kings.
Oh, that's very good.
I agree.
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
That's your
Did
ideal
somebody
date.
say McDonald's? Maybe I don't like the movies too much, so McDonald's and like a arcade and a batting cage and a casino and more food.
Yeah.
Someone asked who can eat the most out of you guys. I think it's probably me.
Yeah, I'm not a big eater.
It would depend what was on the line.
You know, Cinnabons and milk. I'll eat all three of us, all four of us.
Yep. I could eat a lot of those. But probably not as much as Hayes. Hey, thanks everybody.
We should
Everyone
do
had
this
fun.
again. I just like listening to other people tell stories.
Yeah, it's fun. And
yeah,
we
it
can
was
do,
fun. And we'll run out of stories
do the
soon, but we'll
flagrant
make it
phone
through the off season
next
with
time.
this.
Oh yeah, flagrant phone next
be
time.
fun.
Okay.
Okay. God bless.
Bye.